Here's our delicious sportsNOLA.com trivia question of the evening. Marcus Colston, 2 touchdown catches against the Buccaneers. First time he's had 2 TDs since 2013. Good for him. Who is the oldest player in Saints history to score 2 touchdowns in a single game? Brian Alley Walsh, you say?
Well, I'll say Jimmy Taylor.
Jimmy Taylor. Very good guess. Initial Saint. Expansion draft. Ricky, you would say?
I'm going Eric Martin.
Eric Martin.
And
very
you say
good
it?
guess.
You say it?
Very good guess. Eric Martin. There we go. So as a result, the answer is Joe Horn at the age of 34 against Philadelphia in 2006. Wow. So there you go. I threw you all over the place.
Yeah, you did. I would have never guessed Joe.
And you know what was funny is that was the year Joe got hurt. And he didn't get activated for the playoffs and got upset.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of a controversy, never returned to the Saints, but that was the year 2006.
Wow.
All right, it's time now for our hot seat segment where we place Brian Alley Walsh on the hot seat with a hot topic of the day. I can feel the heat already. His seat is burning. It's fired up. Chestnuts roasting. All right, here it is. Here it is. Coal in the stocking. Which team, the most disappointing that we've seen so far, and gets the biggest lump of coal for their performance on the field? Would it be A, the New Orleans Saints, B, the New Orleans Pelicans, C, the LSU football Tigers, or D, the LSU basketball Tigers? Brian, get up off the stove and give us an answer here.
Thank you, Dr. Trey, and as always, you got me thinking already. I mean, that's a great question, fun question. My easy answer, and it's an easy one, is the New Orleans Saints. I thought that they would rebound. I thought that, in fact, I picked them to win the NFC South. Yes, I did. I know, Ricky. I did. I went back. You can pull up the tapes. I did pick them to win the NFC South. I certainly thought that they were a playoff team. And so, anyway, I'm going to build my coal based on disappointment, based on expectations that were not fulfilled. I could make a decent case for the LSU football team the way that they started. The Pelicans, they get a free pass, okay? Too many injuries. Alvin Gentry's first year. The basketball team under Johnny Jones is the same way. Tulane's football team under CJ, I didn't expect a whole lot out of them in the first place. So the 2 teams that have let me down a little bit, okay, has been the LSU football team and the Saints. But I'm going to give my coal to the New Orleans Saints. I think that they have very much underachieved, underwhelmed me as a media type and a fan. So they get my lump of coal this Christmas season.
Well, I agree with you. I mean, to be 5-8, you looking for the Saints to come in with a lot better record than what they turned out to be this year. I mean, they got rid of a defensive coordinator, in the middle of the year like that. So, they got problem there. I wouldn't say anything about Tulane because I never did look for Tulane to win anyhow.
No. That's why we didn't include them on the list.
Right, so LSU basketball, I look for them to be a lot better, but the football the same way, but I still will give it to the Saints this year because I look for them to be a lot better than what they turn out to be.
The LSU basketball team, it's a young team, and let's hope that they get better. They're 4-4 right now, and they've stumbled. They don't play defense. They look like they've just come off the AAU court, okay? You got to play defense in the college level. You can score, but you got to play good defense too. And maybe they'll find that, and their season will turn around.
But they got the #1 pick in the draft.
Listen, they've got players, Ricky.
Right.
They have players, but you still have to play defense. And once they learn, if they learn before Ben Simmons gets out of Dodge, they're a tournament team. But the Saints get my coal. You too?
Yes.
Doctor, you guys are done?
We're done.
All right. The New Orleans Saints are disappointing. I picked them to win 9 games. They might still win 8, so it's a little bit early to say they're a big disappointment. I don't know how you could have possibly seen them winning a division or going any further than they did when you flipped half your roster or more than that. That was a clear sign of a rebuilding franchise. So I would not give them the most coal or any of the coal in this situation, although they have been disappointing. With regard to LSU football, they finished about where they should have finished. They would have been 9-3 had they played McNeese State. They ended up 8-3. You could make the argument they should have gone 9-2, but they weren't going to beat Ole Miss on the road the way Ole Miss was playing and the kind of team they are. And they weren't going to beat Alabama. So they're about where you thought they would be, quite frankly. So I certainly wouldn't put the LSU football team in that mix. I certainly would put the LSU basketball team in that mix, even though they've only played 8 games. This team's 4-4. They've lost to teams with inferior talent. Don't hand me this, they're young business. If you're any good in college basketball, you're a young team. Kentucky's a young team every year. So is Duke. They turn players over, they get other players, and oh, by the way, their recruiting classes weren't as good as LSU's that they have right now. You've got to be able to play defense. You've got to be able to have a semblance of an offensive set. And I don't care about Keith Hornsby being hurt. He's back now at a big game against Houston, still lost, or Craig Victor not being there. When you've got guys like Blakeney and Sampson to go along with Ben Simmons, you're expected to do more. But I'm not giving my coal to the LSU basketball team either. I'm giving it to the New Orleans Pelicans. Because regardless of injury, when you go into this season with a pat hand, thinking you had the tools to be a championship contender, who are you kidding? I don't care about injuries. Do you honestly believe this is a championship contender with the players they brought back? Re-signing Omer Ashik, who doesn't play much at all now. Alexei Ajinça, who has a very limited role. Bringing back the band every step of the way with the other guys. And then when you get guys back from injury, like Norris Cole, he takes time away from Ish Smith, who actually was playing fairly well. They're no better than they were last year. In fact, even healthy, they might be worse. And what does that say about the stability of that franchise and where it's going? Disappointing. It's not on Alvin Gentry, but they blamed Monty Williams. I got news for you. He wasn't the problem. You get the coal. When we return in just a moment, college football, prep football, and the Pelicans as we continue.